elevation is the expectation. Now, listen, everybody wants a better life. Everybody wants more money, more peace, more success. But very few people stop and ask, am I built for this? Because you don't just stumble on greatness, you build on the greatness. And today, we're not just talking about success, we're about to build the structure for success. Let's talk about let's talk about the house and everything that's inside of a house. Most of y'all know what's in a house. You got different rooms, right? You got a basement, you got a closet. Some of y'all like to be up in there. I don't know why. I'm sure it's praying, right? It's a prayer closet. Many different rooms, bathrooms, living rooms. Let's get into the living room of your house because the living room is really where all things come together. So the living room represents your mindset and what you entertain, and also who you entertain. Okay. So thoughts. I knew my phone was gonna start going off. Um, so it's all about who you entertain, right? So you got to be very mindful of that. So what thoughts are you allowing in your mind daily? So don't you know that you're the sum of all of your thoughts? Now, if you're if you're on the right vibration, then you're on the right mental habitation. So let's get into this. Let's get into this real quick. The living room is where everybody comes in and gathers, where you watch TV at, right? Where you do things together, and you have to be mindful of who you allow in your living room because a lot of people will come there and just watch TV, eat up all your food, and live rent free. And really, the analogy there is a lot of times we allow people to live rent free in our mind. Okay. So we have to be very careful about who we allow inside and spend time with and spend living time with. We have to be very mindful. So the next part I really want to get into, you got to understand that a lot of times if your living room is cluttered, your life will feel crowded. So that means it's not for everybody, just for specific people, mainly your family and loved ones. And that way that you can have a clear mind. Now, I also want to share one of my health mentors, Dr. Sabi. Now, he always talks about eating to live, right? He will question, why do we put dead things into a living body? Because our bodies are electrical, right? Which brings me to one of the most important rooms in the house, and I'm gonna spend some serious time talking about, which is the kitchen. So First Corinthians 6:19-20 says, do you not know that your bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit? Therefore, honor God with your bodies. So that means we can't just be eating everything, right? We can't just put everything in our mouths, right? We have to understand that certain things are really not good for us. And because we are the body of Christ, we have to respect it. We have to take care of this temple, right? If you really want the Holy Spirit to remain within you, because it loves to be around clean things, it loves order and structure. So if your body isn't clean on the inside, don't expect it to dwell around you long. So just keep that in mind. So let me say this, it's a reasonable sacrifice, y'all, to be mindful about what you eat. We have no discipline when we see these fast food commercials and all that melted cheese looking good, and you can just smell it through the TV, right? You want to run to McDonald's or run to the store and buy it right then, right? But see, the word says that man cannot live off bread alone. You understand that? The word says that your bodies are temples for the Holy Spirit. Now, how dare you not honor that? So, this means that what you consume is not just physical, it is also spiritual and it's mental too, because a lot of things we eat controls our minds because it controls our cravings, right? And depending on what you think and what you believe, a lot of people believe that we eat certain foods that have parasites, and it's these parasites that get inside of us, right? And that control our cravings for sugar and all the things. But things that are bitter will run the parasites out, right? But things that are sweet, that's what it feeds on, and those control our mental habits. We were talking about the kitchen, how the kitchen has, that's your life, y'all. Whatever you cooking up, y'all, is what you serving out. Now we got to go into something that's another room that's really important in our lives, y'all. The bedroom. Right? Now, the bedroom is where energy is restored or depleted. So let's go a little bit deeper into this house. Let's step into the bedroom, shall we? I need some R&B music for this one. No, I'm just playing. Because most people think the bedroom is all about performance. Well, a lot of times it is, right? I get that, right? But the truth is, the bedroom was truly designed for your recovery. Okay. And the problem is, we misuse a space that's designed for restoration and it starts to drain you instead of build you. You see, every decision you make in private affects how you show up in public. Your energy is real, your focus is real, your clarity is real, and you can lose those things when you don't get a good night's sleep. Anybody woke up in the morning and just went to work and just didn't have it all because they stayed up all night, right? And they can't even hardly remember their name, forget passwords, trying to, what's my banking code? Just forget the basic things. A lot of times your brain does not work the best if it does not get the proper amount of rest. So you got to get that, y'all. You got to build up yourself. Even if during the day you take a micro nap, I promise you, especially when you get older, right? The little 15 minutes be helping you. Help get you through your day. A lot of times you have to think about the brain as a supercomputer. And we have a lot of apps running on our brain. We have so much going on with life. We have so much going on with our children, right? Maybe you just got a speeding ticket that day. That's on your mind, right? So it's just so much that is going on. And later, and during as the day goes on, you have all these programs running. And what we don't do is shut them down. And this is what a good power nap does for you. A good power nap resets your brain. It gives you a reset. So then you can wake up refreshed, recharged, and ready to get back at it. So always remember, y'all, I'm telling you to take time for your mental health and just take a nap. And even if you have to do that during the middle of the day, it is okay. You're not old. Trust me. You can do that. It's all good. So a lot of times the reason why I say that because we constantly give ourselves and we don't be replenished in return. And we do it without discipline. See, may not feel it immediately, but over time, constantly doing for everybody else besides yourself will drain you. I promise you. And these are some of the things that age you in this life. You understand? You wonder why people have wrinkles and looking old. It's because they're stressed out and because they're not getting the proper amount of rest required for their body. Now, some people need less than others, but we all need rest, especially from the chaos and stress of this world, because there's a lot going on. You see, the truth is that a lack of sleep lowers your energy, your testosterone, and your focus. Now, emotionally, instability often comes from a lack of rest plus poor boundaries. And what do I mean when I say a poor boundary? That means like you're staying up all night. You don't have a boundary time on when you start getting ready for bed. It's just, oh, when I feel sleepy, right? You're not setting your boundaries. One of the things that you can do as a key to success so that you can wake up your best is plan your day the night before. Simple things. Figure out what you're going to wear. Iron your clothes the night before, right? Look at your schedule. Figure out what you have to do. And if you need to get something or prepare something, prepare it that night. Plan. That's one of the secrets of the millionaires, y'all. Planning your day the night before. So then when you wake up in the morning, you can meditate on it. You visualize on your day. You see your day, how your day is supposed to go and how you want it to go. It's a mental exercise. So that way you create your day. I know in my world, I don't have a bad day. I'm not saying bad things don't happen, but it's a mentality. I don't have bad days. And I visualize my day. And in my visualization, I don't visualize nothing bad happening in that day. It's all positive. It's all good things that are going to happen that day. So that's why it is very important, y'all. I'm going to tell you, sleep and meditation run hand in hand. Very important. So a lack of sleep, your brain is usually overstimulated and it reproduces clarity. So when you don't get sleep, a lot of times, because your mind is just running, a lot of times, you ever been with somebody who has a restless mind, or they toss and turn trying to go to sleep? It's because they've been mentally overstimulated. And a lot of times, a lot of us, what we do is we're watching TV all night. We're watching TV before we even go to sleep, right? So a lot of those images and visions of what we saw before we go to sleep are still running in your mind because you have not shut it down. Remember, your brain is like a computer, but the problem is, many of us have lost our mouse. We can't find the keyboard, right? So we can't shut it down. So we really got to get it together and have some discipline and take control back over our lives. Strong people protect their energy, not just their time. You protect it. And these are ways to protect it. Now, can we get real for a second? I see my viewers saying, yeah, can we talk about something real? When you're constantly connecting with multiple people in your bedroom, it's not just physical, it's emotional, it's mental, and it's spiritual. It's one of the most spiritual things that you can do. But see, this world tricks you. It makes you think that casual encounters are nothing more but just casual. It didn't mean nothing. Oh, it meant something. You made an agreement in the spirit world, whether you know it or not. Right. And on top of that, you've opened yourself up. You've opened yourself up not only to STDs, which are sexually transmitted diseases, but also to sexually transmitted demons. Yeah, it's that kind of show. So we going there. We talking about stuff like that, right? People don't think about those things. People don't think about who they sleep with. What about their lineage? What about their roots? What about their bloodline? What's going on in their bloodline that you're about to connect yourself with? Because I remember somewhere in the Bible said, it was, I'm just paraphrasing here, but it was saying, woman, you've had 6 husbands. You're like, how? All the people you slept with. Basically, everybody you lay with, you connect with, right? And I'm not saying I'm not perfect because I'm sure haven't been, right? But I'm starting to learn things at a new level and a new expectation. And when you learn more, you do better, right? So some of us are actually sleeping with energy vampires right in our bedroom and don't even know it. And it's the cause of why your mind is becoming scattered, right? And somewhere I read that a double minded man is unstable in all his ways. You wonder why? Because you're having flashbacks of the night before, or what you done did, or how y'all turned up, right? So let me tell you something. The truth is, discipline in the bedroom builds discipline in life. Why is that? Because how you do anything is how you do everything for the most part. So you gotta have discipline in the bedroom, fellas. We gotta have some mushroom tip control. A lot of us had never been taught that. So when we're young, we just throw it everywhere. But that ain't the move. My queens, you already know. I ain't even gotta tell you nothing. So because of how you do everything, how you do anything is how you do everything. The truth is that temporary pleasure can cause long-term clarity. It can cost you your long-term clarity. Anybody had a baby with somebody that they shouldn't have had a baby with? Or I'm not saying that children are an accident. That's not what I'm saying. But anybody have had a baby with somebody who have disrupted your peace, has caused chaos in your life? I see some people shaking their heads. Yeah, right. Because you're just throwing it around to anybody, not taking time to get to know the person, not realizing that people change just like the seasons, right? That's why you got to be battle tested and ready, and you got to take your time and go with every season with that person. You need to see how they act in winter, right? You need to see when it gets cold how they gonna treat you. You need to know these things, y'all. Because the real love, let me tell you something. A lifetime of romance is to love yourself. And loving yourself is being very cautious about who you decide to bring in your bedroom, right? Because it's a spiritual thing. And many of us are not taught that. So the truth is, many of us are not willing to pay what it truly costs. Many times, many times, y'all, laying in bed with the wrong person can cost you a lot. And it's something that we don't want to pay. Many of us are paying child support, 18 years of child support, right? I know I'm on it, but it's all good. It's an honor to be on it. It's an honor. It's an honor, honestly. But it's all good. You gotta love your children the best that you can. There are no mistakes. Sometimes we do things that we didn't think all the way through, but when you learn better, we gotta do better, and that's what this show is all about. So let me go into this, y'all. We gotta we gotta focus. We gotta really focus. Focus grows when distractions cease. This is why I tell my brother sometimes you got to separate yourself. I ain't saying break up, but you got to go in a quiet place. When you separate yourself from being with somebody intimate that who you've been with on a regular, when you separate yourself, what it does is it opens up your discernment. It gives your mind clarity. Now you can see what you couldn't see before because you were caught up in that web. All right. And that's the same for women. Strong men and women don't just protect their body, they protect their energy and their peace of mind. What's done in the dark will always come to the light. So that's why you got to protect your reputation and you have to protect your energy like you protect your future, because how you live in private will determine how you lead in public. And a lot of times we move a certain way because we don't have any principles, or our parents never taught us anything, or maybe we didn't go to the right church. I don't, or maybe we got friends around us who we are following, right? Who we're trying to emulate them. A lot of times, I know when I was young, that's what I was doing, following my friends. I thought some of the dumb stuff I was doing was cool, but I didn't know. I didn't know any better. I didn't know the connections I was making in the spirit world, right? I didn't know those things. So, so if your life is a house, let me ask you, is your bedroom restoring you or is it draining you? I'm telling you this and I'm asking you this because we must understand. You don't just build strength in what you do, you also build strength in what you refuse. You caught that? You don't just build strength in what you do, you build it in what you refuse. Now, imagine that you've built a beautiful house, right? Strong foundation, your pillars are solid, and everything's in place. But every night before you go to sleep, you make a decision to lock your door. I know I do. Most people do that, right? You go out and lock your door. Not because something is already inside, but because you understand that everything doesn't deserve access in. Now, the lock doesn't weaken the house, it strengthens it. And that's how discipline works. You don't become strong by what you allow in, you become strong by what you keep out. Y'all get that? All right. Hopefully y'all that process is a little bit. So now you got to ask yourself, since your life is a house, what does my life, or what does my house really look like? The house you build is the house that you have to live in. And let me say it like this: one day, it's going to come a time where you're going to have to stand on everything that you built. Yeah, your house may look good on the outside, but is there cracks in the foundation? What does the inside look like? How does your private life look? Because one day you will be exposed. One day you're going to get caught with your blinds up, right? So it's always best to move in integrity, right? And have integrity about everything that you do, y'all. I'm telling you, because whatever's done in the dark will come to the light, and whatever you put inside will reflect on the outside, because those are the things that become you. So, did you know that every 35 days, your body creates new skin cells? Yep, it sure does. So, your body uses the food that you eat to become skin cells. So, you literally are what you eat. That scab, that's coming from protein. Y'all get it? So when you cut yourself and you get that scab, that's coming from the proteins that you eat. So if you eating McDonald's all the time, you probably got a McScab, right? But I'm just playing. But the truth is, you are what you eat. Another thing, you are the sum of everything that you do every day. Did y'all catch that principle? You are the sum of everything that you do every single day. So be mindful of what you do, right? Because there's somebody somewhere watching you. Not only is God watching, but somebody's watching you. Your children are watching, right? Your family is watching. Your friends are watching just to see how you move. How do you move when it's a storm? Because I promise you one will come in your life one day. How do you behave? How do you react? Right? You are the sum of what you do every single day. Like if you don't cook every day, you're not a cook, right? You're not a skater if you don't skate. You're not a rapper if you don't rap. And you're not a gun if you don't clap. You're not a human if you don't bleed. And you're not a leader if you don't lead. Bars, right? So the question is, how are you living your life? Because I promise you, the life you lead will always lead you. Will always lead you. This is why you are a direct result of all your thoughts and all your choices in this life. So, as we talk about the internal kitchen of your house, watch your thoughts. Watch what you're cooking up, right? Because it's your thoughts that become your words. Watch your words because it's your words that become your actions. Watch your actions because it's your actions that become your character. Let's pause. Let's pause right there. It's your actions that become your character. The things that you do every day become a part of not only who you are, but it becomes a part of your reputation. You see, your real reputation is not what you think about yourself. Your true reputation is what people say about you when you are not in the room. That's your reputation. And a lot of times we get our reputation from our character, right? And character needs to be strong. Your character needs to be rooted on something. They always say if you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. And I talked about last week how a tree, how its roots dig deep into the ground, right? And the strength of the tree is not because it's wood or it's in the ground, it's because of the depth of the roots. So when a storm comes, it doesn't blow over because its roots are deep. And that's how your character has to be. Your character has to be as strong as your roots. If not, you will go for anything. You don't believe me? Ask some brothers that's in prison. Ask them. They'll tell you they didn't have the character, they didn't have the morals, the values that they've learned now, right? That's why many of us, y'all, have to be very careful of who you allow in your living room, sitting next to you, watching TV with you. And I'm talking about the living room of your mind, right? Everybody not supposed to be around your space and your energy because a lot of people influence us. So if you want people to influence you, you want good people around you who have great moral character. They always say that you're the sum of your closest five friends around you, right? And if you're the smartest one in the room or out of them, you're in the wrong room or you're in the wrong friend group, right? Your character is important because your reputation will precede you. So it's a lot of things in this life that we have to be very, very mindful of. So, who's in your living room, right, of your house? Who's in your kitchen, right? Serving you up. What are they cooking? And what are they serving? Right? What are you cooking and what are you serving? Because everything you do becomes you, right? You have to stand guard in the doorway of your mind so that you can allow the best quality ingredients into your kitchen. You can allow the best quality people into your living room, right? That's why everything that you think, everything that you eat becomes you. So make sure that you watch closely to everything you see on TV, like fast food commercials, right? That take you out of your kitchen and put you into their kitchen. Pause. Think about that, y'all. Every day, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Americans eat out. And I'm not saying nothing's wrong with eating out, but you're not eating in your own kitchen. So that means that you didn't put the love into the food. That also means you don't know who prepared your food. You don't know how they handled your food. You don't know if they sneezed and said bless you and then passed it out. You don't know these things. So it is detrimental if you're eating out all the time, y'all. So that's why the kitchen is one of the most important rooms of your internal house, y'all. What about if you eating clone meat, right? How you know? We don't know what we're getting these days, right? So we have to be very, very mindful. And you know what? You know what? Let me tell you this. A lot of the food is not real. I'm just gonna tell y'all this. A lot of it's not real, y'all. So they're serving you a lot of denatured food and it becomes you. Let me give you an example. A lot of time you can't even find grapes with seeds in it these days. So if you can't find grapes with seeds in it, what do you think it's doing to your reproductive system, right? Things without seeds that can't reproduce itself are not natural. So this is why I'm telling y'all this, y'all, because I wanted to make it a point. This is why you have to really speak over everything. You have to pray over everything, and you speak things into existence until you see it. Until you see it, because everything becomes you. You got to watch who and what you allow inside. You know what I'm saying? You even got to watch what you smoking on and choking on. Let's go there, because that becomes you. It becomes what you do every day, right? And it can slow you down. It can take your time away from you. Those things become you. You also got to watch who you stroke on and poke on. Yeah, I said it. Because it becomes you. It becomes who you are. It becomes a part of your character, right? And when you're calling the fellas at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, she know what you're calling for, right? She know what you want. It becomes a part of you, right? So you better be mindful of who you pretend to be, because who you pretend to be is who you will become, and you will forget the person who you are and become who you're pretending to be. Those things become you. So this is why, as we talk about your house, y'all, your mental and your physical are running hand in hand. And it's very important to be mindful of what you consume. And when I say consume, what you allow yourself to see. So guard your eye gates. What you allow yourself to hear. So guard your ear gates. Right. And that's why music is a powerful thing, y'all. Music is one of those things that just comes in. You really don't have a filter on it unless you're just saying, hey, I'm just listening to instrumentals, right? Or I'm just listening to classical. We allow whatever they say to come in to our spirit, and there's no filter over it. So you have to be very, very careful, y'all. So let me tell y'all this. The truth is, this is the real truth. When you come into this world, you look like your parents. But when you die, you look like your decisions. Why? Because they become you. Okay? So be mindful. And let me leave you with this, y'all. Everybody wants the crown, but not nobody, but nobody talks about the construction, what it really takes. Everybody wants the harvest, but don't nobody want to plant the seeds. Everybody wants peace, but they won't even bring peace into their own home and clean out the things that's disturbing their peace, such as winds of chaos. Because when the storm comes, and I keep telling y'all that it will come, it's not your money that's going to save you. It's not your flowers. It's not your image. It's your foundation, what you're standing on, what you're built on, right? It's what you build in private that's going to save you publicly. You see, it's the doors you close. It's all about the doors that you close, y'all. The things that you refused, the discipline you kept when nobody was watching. So build your life like a house. Lay the foundation that's deep. Stand on pillars that's strong. Clean up what's inside, y'all. Remove a lot of those things you know you shouldn't be doing, or the things that your mama prayed that you wouldn't do no more. Plant seeds in your yard that'll grow and produce fruit. Protect your energy. Guard your space. Not everybody belongs in it. And one day you won't just have a life, but you'll have a kingdom. And the kingdom is built on discipline, purpose, and truth that cannot be shaken. I promise you. You listening to the King Raphael show. And remember, y'all, to keep your faith higher than your fear and your purpose stronger than your pain. Until next time, we elevate again. I'm King Raphael, and I'm saying stay blessed and stay smooth, y'all.